I love to read comics, probably more than I like to read books. I've always been a fan of the art of illustrations and how they tell a story, sometimes even without dialogue. I haven't read nearly as many comics as I would like to. Still, I have my all-time favorites of the three main types: comic books, comic strips, and webcomics. Comic books can get expensive. I don't own all of my favorites, but I've read enough of them to know I like them. I'll start with an honorable mention of mangas. I've read several. I don't collect them. Japan is weird. Not that that's a bad thing. I'll make a video specifically about mangas and anime another time. These are my top 10 favorite comic books. Number 10, The Watchmen, a realistic portrayal of superheroes that actually have personal issues, yet still save the world, even though in the end they are the ones responsible for messing it up. Tales from the Crypt, number 9, first comics I ever read. My late uncle let me read some of his back in the day. I learned some good lessons from the Crypt Keeper. Number 8, Courtney Crumrin. The stories do a good job of mimicking the logic of Arcadia and the hidden magics of the world. Number 7, Umbrella Academy. Yet another realistic superhero story that intrigued me even more than The Watchmen did. Number 6, The Twilight Zone. These were some of the best sci-fi comics I ever read. Number 5, The Preacher. A brilliant story about God's debauched games he plays with people's lives and the people who get their revenge on him. I especially like how the bad guys can be the good guys and vice versa. Number 4, X-Men. Always a good lesson on using your personal oddities to overcome daily obstacles and help your fellow man, despite being an outcast because of those oddities. Now, only if genetic mutations can actually give superpowers to us in real life. Number 3, The Walking Dead. This pretty much portrays how gruesome and tragic a real zombie apocalypse would be. Not that I'd actually survive 33 seconds against one, I still feel more prepared having read this comic. Number 2, Spider-Man. Witty, smart, perceptive, strong, flexible, tough, yet completely socially inept without his mask. Hell, even with his mask, he's a doofus sometimes. Peter Parker has more issues than, well, Spider-Man. I mostly like how he gives into his dark side at times. So, of course, I'm also a big fan of Venom. Spidey used to be my number 1, until I met the boys. You know what I'm talking about when I say our politicians, athletes, and other celebrities are rife with corruption, right? Well, imagine how corrupt superheroes would actually be if they existed. Now go read The Boys. It's worse than you imagined. Good thing the boys are around to clean up their messes. The good guys don't win, because, you see, there are no good guys. Now, the good comic strips aren't always in the Sunday paper. In fact, some that I like aren't even running anymore. I'll start with an honorable mention of Mad Magazine. It's an overall entertaining collection of comic strips and shorts that always makes me chuckle when I get my hands on an issue, new or old. Number 10, This Modern World. One of the few political cartoons I enjoy. Number 9, Willie and Ethel. Some good lower middle class humor here. Number 8, Dilbert. Since I work in an office, the office humor is rarely lost on me. Number 7, Garfield. Simple, relatable, and free of political messages. A favorite since I was a kid. Number 6, Bizarro. I like puns. This guy does some of the best I've seen. Number 5, Calvin and Hobbes. He sometimes has the reasoning of a 6-year-old, and other times the wisdom of an adult. The combination is a win. Number 4, Doonesbury. This one is my favorite political comic strip. Although sometimes irrelevant to me, It usually sends a powerful message about how ridiculous the political rat race is. Number 3, Get Fuzzy. It's like Bucky and Satchel are constantly making fun of how abstract the English language is. Perhaps even more than they make fun of each other. Number 2, Peanuts. This is the first comic strip I can remember reading. Each character had some socially awkward way about them, so I could relate to most of them. Except that bitch Lucy. Number 1, The Far Side. Gary Larson has one of the most unique and bizarre sense of humor I've seen in a comic strip writer. Even finding old strips I've seen before, I still laugh like I did the first time. Now, webcomics. They can suck up my limited computer time, and I can't look at work anymore like I used to. I'll get in trouble. I'm going to quickly rattle off several noteworthy comics I've enjoyed over the years, No Reason included. Some aren't up anymore, some aren't even updating anymore, and some are definitely not safe for work. Emerald, Neopets, Mac Hall, 3-Panel Soul, Gaia Online, Truck Bearing Kibble, Order of the Stick, Cyanide and Happiness, Awkward Zombie, Robin Elliott, Butternut Squash, Control-Alt-Delete, Dark Legacy, Penny Arcade, By Way of Booty Bay, Lolly Loves Venom, Hockey Zombie, VG Cats, Perry Bible Fellowship, Sexy Losers, and Something Positive. I'm sure you have a few favorite comics not on my list you feel I need to read, so go ahead and suggest them in the comments. You could also make a video response of your favorites. Either way, keep reading, true believers.